Hello friends, we're going to go on a yard selling, not like selling, but we're like going to go buy stuff at yard sales this morning. Take a trip with me and we'll see what I find on this really fun and frugal Saturday morning yard selling trip. And I know it's a little bit drizzly and so forth, but there are community yard sales that I knew about in a really nice neighborhood that has lots of really good stuff, and they also sell it for super cheap. So kind of know the area, and we're going to definitely get our bargains worth for sure. And then I also have something else planned where I'm getting 2 different things for free, and I'll go ahead and share that with you at the end. Stay tuned. This is my first yard sale find of the day, 25 cents, and this will be so cute for cuttings when I am trying to root cuttings in the house. Isn't that cute? 25 cents. At my second yard sale, I found 2 of these, are $2 each, and it looks like a cosmetic thing, but it's not. It's for deviled eggs. I could also use them for raw eggs, but I think I'm going to use them for deviled eggs. This is going to be handy for when I bring them to parties or just to store them in the refrigerator so they don't get all smooshed up. And they're very space saving. So I got 2 of these deviled egg containers, $2 each, and they're really good quality plastic. So I saved a lot of money on those because I was actually looking for these at the store, like at Fred Meyer's, and I couldn't find what I was looking for, and what I did find was very pricey. The other thing I found there is a brand new game. It looks like Scrabble, but it's about mathematical equations, and it was $2. And so as a teacher, I couldn't pass it up. I had to get it. I mean, just to have it in my classroom, games for a choice, you know what I mean? So $2, this had to be a lot of money, and perfect for the classroom. This would be really fun for homeschoolers too, but picked that up for $2. I spent $6 at that yard sale, got 2 containers for hard-boiled eggs, and I got this brand new board game. At my third yard sale, I got these glow-in-the-dark stars for my son's bedroom. He loves space stuff, and the gentleman warned me. He said, once you put these up, it's a pain to take them down if you ever have to paint. So I'm kind of thinking we'll do some kind of arts and crafts jar, glow light kind of thing. So that will be really fun and crafty for my son. So we're going to do like galaxy in a jar instead of doing it on the wall. The man made a really good point about having to take them down again. And then I got this really cute serving dish, and it was only $2, and it's really nice. Whoops. Super cute for $2. Got this really cute pot for $10, and I'd pay way more if I was at Value Village or if I was at Home Depot or Lowe's or something. So this is super cute. A lot of the things at the estate sales tend to be very expensive because they have companies that run them. But estate sales are kind of sad, looking through someone's items. So I'm a little bit somber for a moment. I paid $2 for these garden crocks. I mean, that's how I'm going to use them, is when I just need to run outside in water or something, slip on these crocks for $2. And if you know about the Croc brand, you really can't find them for less than $50. So, yeah, I spent $2 on some garden crocks. Yeah, just to have something on my feet when I run outside, because I often do run out barefoot. So these will be nice. I spent $3 on this little small handheld hair dryer. I barely ever use a hair dryer, but whenever I need it, my daughter has it. So I spent $3 on this, which is definitely a savings, you know that. I got this cute little craft kit for making a crocheted baby elephant. Isn't that precious? And so once I use the materials here, then I'll know how to make these moving forward. So that'll be super cute. $4. They also had a bee and a bear, but I was like $12 for all three. I wasn't quite sure about that. And the bee was so simple, I think I could do it without even having a pattern. So we'll see. But $4 for this little elephant. It's like, it has to be made though. I'm going to have to make it. 3 used garden pots for $1. That's a deal. I'm running to a lady's house really fast to pick up some forsythia cuttings. So I'm getting a container ready so it doesn't dry out on the way home. Forsythia is one of the first plants to bloom in the early spring, so it's already bloomed, but I want them to root. They're not rooted yet, so they can just sit in this container while they root, or I can plant them in soil depending on how much time I have. But one way you can get free plants is by joining a grow group, like you could have on Facebook, all kinds of different, plant and seed swap groups, and lots of people are happy to give away extra planting material. So that's what I'm gonna go do right now, is grab those forsythia cuttings. They're beautiful green plants with woody stems and yellow flowers in the early spring. So I got a handful of forsythia cuttings for free, and it was very close, so I didn't have to worry about some kind of crazy long drive, so it was definitely worth it to me. And of course I could prune my own, but it's just also like, I don't like to see anything go to waste. And so I will propagate these, and these will be several different plants of forsythia that I can have in my yard. We have a property that is like not buildable. We could put some out there. I could give some away, but these are going to be individual plants, and I'm very happy with how I spent my morning. Now that you've seen a few of the things that I got when I was
look for
groups online like Facebook. You can also look on Craigslist, Marketplace,
and I'm going to show you how
and see if people are just like getting rid of cuttings for free. They might list it even outside of their groups, so that's kind of nice. I did that once, drove quite a while, but I got a bunch of contorted willow cuttings, like a ton of them, so that was worth my time. Now I did go once to somebody who had mulberry cuttings, but they set them out in the hot sun for like a week, and they must not be plant people, because all the cuttings were dried out and dead. So make sure that they are fresh cuttings and that they've been sitting in water. When I picked these up, they were in a glass jar full of water, and then I just transported them into my own container. Simple as that. And forsythia are very, very easy to propagate from cuttings. If you're in a hurry, you're going to pay a pretty penny for soil and compost and all that kind of stuff. But if you have time and you're thinking long term, you can compost in place and do it for free. I have all kinds of material that is actually growing, like there's no pathway. So as I'm walking through, I'm just snapping off pieces of cherry suckers, like just the green part, not woody part. I don't want the cherry suckers to actually grow in my compost. And there's a little spider friend here. Hello, little spider. It was crawling on my hand. And so I just grab whatever's in my way and I throw it in the compost. So that's perfect. I actually had bought for $50 each those rolling compost bins, and there's nothing wrong with those. I just don't prefer them. So I do still have them and I still do use them, but my preferred method is to take leaves and just put it around the top of the soil, like chop and drop. And then if I have empty containers, I'll do a couple scoops of soil and drop some of these in. And it's great. And I've been doing this for years before I ever got onto YouTube, before I started actually watching YouTube videos. So I know that other people do that as well. But it is so handy. And a lot of people don't think about like the cherry suckers and the weeds. Now you don't want to get roots in there, and you have to kind of know how the plants grow. But like if you take the leaves off of the weeds and you compost the leaves, most of them will just break down. Like if you don't want your dandelions, if you just compost the stems and the leaves, those are going to break down just fine in your compost pile, and they're going to put that nutrient back into the soil. I actually like dandelions, so I actually let them continue to grow. I will pop off the seed heads just because I know my neighbors don't like it so much. But I feed the leaves to my chickens, and I do want to use the flowers to make like a tempura. I will do that later in another video. It'll be my first time because I've been looking at some videos and stuff, and I'm going to try it out and give you a real critique on whether that's good or not. But I have lots of frugal ideas that I'm going to share with you again. So keep watching. In some ways, having the really overgrown cherry suckers is a problem, but in many ways it's a solution to getting organic matter for my compost. When that's about halfway full, so I actually intermix it. So I do, like, there's a little bit of cardboard. I don't like to do cardboard too much, but it had worms and stuff, earthworms in it on the bottom. So I went ahead and tore off the piece that had a bunch of life in it and put it right in there. And then the cherry tree drops some cherries in there that are not fertile. And then I have some leaves, some dry material, some soil, and then I just keep lasagna method, they call it, I guess. But this has existed since time, from the very beginning. Call it what you will. I've been doing this before those methods were even described. But then I'm going to plant something in there. So everything's breaking down. I don't have to move the compost. I'm composting it in place. So soil, green leafy matter, brown matter, soil, spent material out of pots, just dumping it in. I don't even have to mix it, throw in little scraps here and there. And this is working really well. I do this with most of my pots whenever I have time. When I don't have time, I at least put handfuls of green material between each layer so that the earthworms have something to nibble on. So that is free compost. You know how I end my videos. Be good, be sweet. Grow a garden if you want to eat. See you next time.